Hi, my name's Adam Smith and I'm a solicitor apprentice here at Attwells, currently in my second year rotation in our conveyancing department.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, Head of Training and Development here at Attwells.
And today we're going to talk to you about 5 things I wish I knew before I started my apprenticeship here.
Do you learn on the job as well as on your study day?
Yeah, I do. I was quite surprised actually when I started my apprenticeship, as in how much you learn on the job. So I'm currently in conveyancing every day with current clients in the firm, answering their questions, helping them in their transactions. So as part of my uni work, I'm actually learning on the job every day as well as my studies.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about apprenticeships is that you learn a lot of practical skills as well as obviously your academic skills studying, which means most apprentices when they finish the programme are actually more experienced and have better career progression than university graduates. Is asking questions encouraged?
Yeah, it definitely is. It does feel nerve-wracking, like I was talking about earlier, that you are working in a law firm and you do sometimes feel like you don't know the answers and you're worried if clients call you and you don't know the answers, or if you have emails in your inbox that you're not sure how to respond to. But it is encouraged. The culture here is really good in that you have lots of people around you, either apprentices a few years ahead of you or like line managers like yourself or other lawyers in the firm, that you can ask the questions to them, and it is welcoming, because I have thought like that before, that I've got so many questions and I feel bad for asking these questions, but that is the whole point of the apprenticeship program, to like learn and progress yourself. I'm sure you would, I've asked you a lot of questions before, so.
Yeah, apprenticeships are all about learning, so it sort of starts even from the recruitment process. We tend to recruit people that want to learn and ask questions, so even at interview we're expecting them to ask questions, and again throughout the apprenticeship you would get very worried if someone wasn't asking questions.
Yeah,
I think you would expect them, and it shows sort of interest and engagement, which is the main skill to learn. So and questions are definitely encouraged.
Yeah.
How do you manage your time?
It's a difficult one, but we are quite lucky in that we have one day off from work a week to study with my university. So that's a day where I don't respond to my emails, don't do my actual legal work, and I'm focusing properly on my studies, which does help me prioritise my week and work out exactly what day I'm studying and work out how long I have to do certain things in my studies.
Yeah, I think it is very hard for a lot of apprentices to manage their time and juggle studying as well as doing a full-time job. Even if you have a day, it's sort of a different mental ability and you have to switch between the two. But at Attwells we try and support our apprentices using practical skill training in order to be able to do this, and also their line managers support them with their workload if it gets too much.
Yeah, I think it is quite hard, as you are doing a full-time 9 to 5 job, especially in conveyancing where I'm in now. It is quite hard sometimes to switch off your legal work and then focus on your studies. But I know that if I am finding it quite overwhelming and it's taking too much of my life, a lot of my legal work, that I can go to my line manager and figure out ways which I can cut down on my legal work to help with my studies. But it can be slightly daunting when you first start and you're chucked in with full-on studying for your law degree, but then also trying to do actual legal work in the firm. But the support is quite good we have at Attwells.
Do you build professional skills in an apprenticeship?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I've only been here for a year starting my apprenticeship, but I've confidently talked to clients on the phone, which I think is the hardest part when you start an apprenticeship. You don't really know what clients can say to you on the phone. You feel like you're not experienced to be able to answer their questions, but you do learn it really quickly. But also just how to network as well, communicate with your colleagues and clients externally as well. I think that's really important, and you do learn it quite quickly on the job especially.
Yeah, I think that's the advantage of an apprenticeship really, is that you learn so much from the people around you, and you learn by listening to experienced lawyers and colleagues and being in the same room as them and observing them as well. And you also get thrown into doing things very early on, such as going to networking events like you said, and also sort of running your own files by sort of midway through the apprenticeship, and being able to respond to clients and meet clients very early on as well.
Yeah, I think recently I have done a lot of career events at local schools, and I'll be able to speak to students about what life is like as an apprentice. And it's really great to be able to give back to the local community and go to these schools and tell them about my experience when I was only there like a couple of years ago.
What did you learn from that experience?
I learned just that it is nerve-wracking when you are a student. I mean, I was a student a couple of years ago, but being able to actually speak to these students face to face and say, you know, you're currently doing your A-levels or GCSEs, they're a few years younger, and this is where you can end up as an apprentice. It makes you feel like you've done something really good, and you'll be able to show these students that there is a pathway after A-levels, and you can of course go to university, but you can also do a different route, which a lot of people aren't actually aware of, the solicitor apprenticeship route, so it's good. Yeah.
Is there a clear career pathway?
There is definitely. I think it's quite nice that in 6 years' time I will be a qualified solicitor and I'll have 6 years of practical experience. I think that is one of the main benefits compared to going to university, in that you come out with that 6 years of practical experience, which you wouldn't have if you were to choose a university route. But yeah, I think you agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And thinking like further into the future as well, 4 out of 6 of our partners trained here.
Yeah.
So the pathway's never ending, and you can obviously progress as far as you want to. The other 2 are founding partners, so of course they created Attwells. So.
Nice. So you obviously did the university route, Charlotte, and I'm doing the apprenticeship route now. Would you definitely recommend the apprenticeship program? What are the main differences between the two? You've got the experience of going to university.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend the apprenticeship route. I really enjoyed my time at university. I really enjoyed sort of being away from home and the independence and social side of it. However, what I found difficult was on graduation of university was finding a job that used my degree. I thought that it would be fairly easy, having quite a good degree and a good grade, to sort of find a job in a law firm, but it wasn't. So that part was a real struggle for me. I spent sort of 2 years working in jobs that I didn't really enjoy, just to sort of bide my time until I found this one. So I think going back, if apprenticeship was an option, I'd definitely try and apply for one, because your career route is sort of more set and you know what you're doing, and the skills that you have at the end of it are much more than a graduate would have, because a law degree doesn't really prepare you for a working life in a law firm. So that's the real benefit of it. The similarities are there though, the degree's the same, the course is the same, so that's exactly the same, and the career paths open to me are the same, they're equal. It was just quite hard in that middle gap, I think.
Yeah, it's just a practical experience you learn on the apprenticeship, which you wouldn't get at university. It just gives you a good boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully this has given you a bit more of an idea about what life as a solicitor apprentice is like.
Please reach out to us if you have any questions. We'd be more than happy to help.
And please like, share and subscribe to our channel.